Do you know who Andrew Tate is?
Yeah. Oh God, who
So,
doesn't?
so
Was he with sex trafficking women? Like, come on, bro. Of course you're gonna say that because you about to be real depressed in jail, aren't you?
yeah.
Are you doing the things you should do to, walk the life you should be living? I feel amazing. You feel amazing? What do you mean you feel amazing? And basically tells me that, I got off all my opiates and literally all I'm taking is just cannabis. So like if you can get the real flower, you stay with that. Because then you know where it's grown, you know where it's come from. You can get like all the information on how it's tested. But this chemical stuff, you have no idea what they're doing with it.
What up, guys? Welcome back to the show. Today we have on Dr. Antonio Rozier. Did I pronounce your name correctly, my man?
The French say Dr. Rozier, but you can say
Rozier. I love it. So he's a physician, y'all, and I know with our good friend Dalton, I saw you on a podcast with him. So
Yeah.
You're involved in the Texas cannabis space as well.
Yeah,
You prescribe cannabis. I've heard you're the plug. I'm
the legal one. I'm the legal one. I'm the one you come to get the right way, not off the street.
the legal plug. Yeah. So we'll get into the cannabis stuff as well. But why don't you tell the people, the listeners, a little bit about what you do, right?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So, originally, I'm out here in Dallas, Texas right now. I am a interventional pain doctor. I do spine and sports medicine. I've been out here for about 10 years almost in a private practice. I've always had an interest in plant medicine, whether it be, cannabis or psilocybin or anything that's natural to help you get better and expand your life or your mind. Right. I'm really into fitness, nutrition. And for me, like, cannabis kind of fell in because it's a part of just the things that I feel are important that people need to understand and learn about and use if possible. Because, as a pain doctor, I'm stuck giving out, pain medicine. I see people get stuck on opiates. And for me, I need a better way to get these people better without having such a dangerous way of doing it. Right. And so cannabis allows you to, to have all these problems, all these conditions, improve without having to be on a bunch of different kind of like Western medicines, correct?
Right. Yeah, and that's such a big thing right now, the opiate crisis. A lot of people, getting addicted with these painkillers, man. And do you have any good stories about, people that, switched off from opiates and then went to cannabis?
So many good stories, man. One story I have is I had a patient so I have all different kinds of patients. I mean, here in Texas, it's not like Vegas, right? We're not wide open like that right now. So our medical program is very limited to just neurological problems. So we got PTSD, we got seizures, and we have MS, neuropathy, which is nerve pain, Parkinson's, dementia, and a couple like just really a bunch of other really obscure things that you wouldn't probably ever see in your life. So, and on top of that, I'm limited to just what those things are. Like I can't choose what my patients get. I got to pick from this list of like 10 different things basically, which is really important right now in Texas. But anyway, my story is like, I got a guy this guy literally had like stage 4 colon cancer. Okay. And he came in because he not only did he have surgery, he also had chemo. He had chemo too. And with chemo causes really bad nerve pain, right? Because chemotherapy destroys cells. So not just the cells of cancer, but other cells too. And so what happened was he had really bad neuropathy, and we'll call it like post chemotherapy neuropathy right afterwards. So that gets really bad. And people say that neuropathy is pretty much uncurable, right? And so there are certain drugs that people probably know about called like gabapentin or Lyrica that you see commercials for. But as a pain doctor, we don't really have a lot of medicine for nerve pain. It's hard to treat. And so the guy came to me. We had a conversation on a teleconference call. And he's just like, Doc, like I'm just at my wit's end. My feet feel like I'm stepping on socks all the time. They're always burning. My fingers are always burning. I can't sleep. I can't walk. And the guy's still dealing with his stage 4 colon cancer, right? And so I got him. So I took care of him for a while. Maybe like 6 months in, we get a follow up with this guy. And so Mr. So-and-so, how you doing? And he's just like, I'm doing great. I'm like, great. You mean great? He's like, man, I feel amazing. You feel amazing? What do you mean you feel amazing? And basically tells me that, I got off all my opiates and literally all I'm taking is just cannabis. And
Yeah. Okay.
and he's taking, it comes in different, here in Texas, all we have, there's no flower in Texas. So no flower. You can't smoke anything. Okay. No vape, no flower. It's not legal, but it's all edible products. So we end up having, I put them on a tincture.
Right.
For me, in my experience so far, for nerve pain, tinctures work the best. The liquids you put under your tongue and you swallow, y'all know what tinctures are, right? So this guy literally was just taking cannabis. No morphine, no fentanyl, no oxycodone, oxycontin. And he's living his life, And so last I heard, he's still doing pretty good. I think his cancer he had surgery, went well. Dude's living, still on his cannabis, living his life. And so that's just one of the stories I have of patients doing really, really well with medical problems using medicine that's a plant to get you better.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, man, that's interesting. So for the people out there that don't know, or maybe, they're just playing around with pills, right?
Yeah.
Illegally, what are some of the biggest side effects from, messing around with pills, narcotics, right?
I mean, I think people forget, not only are they addictive, as we all know, but remember, every pill you take goes through some organ. So you're damaging your liver, you're damaging your kidneys, right? It's going through your blood. Top of that,
the liver, and then it's mixing that with alcohol too.
Bro, and we know people do that, right? And we know people. And so what happens is people get stuck on these pills, and then they can't get off. And that's the hard part too, because a lot of people have trouble, even if they want to. I don't care who you are. People always tell you, "Oh, I'm an addicted personality. I don't get addicted." Yeah. Let me tell you something. Everybody gets dependent on opiates. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much strength you have in your mind and your body. Your body will need the drug after a while.
That makes sense.
That's what happens. And your brain will make you think that so if you don't hurt, your brain will make you think you need the drug. So I got patients who had chronic pain, and I cut down their pain medicine, and their pain got better. Right?
Interesting. Okay. Right? Yeah.
Because that's what the drug does. And those guys, those companies that made these drugs, they knew that. They lied to everybody and said, "Oh, Oxycontin is not addictive." And now look where we are in the country right now. We got all these people stuck with these pills. But now what's the problem though? They got fentanyl out here, right? And so now what happens is they're going on the street buying Oxycontin, getting laced fentanyl pills, and what's happened? People are dying left and right. Every day you hear about someone dying from fentanyl overdose because they went on the street and bought. Man, I got a crazy story for you. Okay,
go ahead.
I had a patient with a daughter who died from oxycodone. Let me tell you how though. They were addicted to the medicine because it was a young like a 22-year-old. They had a broken leg or something like that. I can't really remember. And the doctor started on oxycodone and they got hooked. Well, once it stopped, they started buying oxycodone on the street. They found this girl dead in the house with a pill still in her hand. She didn't even take it. It was in her hand because the fentanyl, how much can kill you? Do you know how much fentanyl you need to die?
No.
3 grains. So like a salt grain or salt or salt grain, 3 of them.
Oh, 3
will kill you.
Snap. Okay. 3 grains. 3 grains.
Yeah.
I thought you said okay. I thought you said 3 grams. I was like,
no, I'm not getting that. I'm not getting that detail, my friend.
3 grains. Okay, that is wild.
That's wild, right? So they found this little girl dead with the pill in her hand just because she touched it.
Yeah.
What? So you're telling me you rather get that? You telling me you rather risk somebody going through that than prescribe cannabis or making it legal or decrease, or making it federal? You want people doing that instead? It blows my mind, man. It blows my mind.
Right. And is there, I'm genuinely interested in it for the folks out there. I know I have a lot of people probably, cannabis advocates that are just going to say good things about cannabis no matter what, right? But are there some cases where cannabis, like the patient does not react well to it.
Yeah, I mean, I have some patients, they just don't respond to cannabis. Everybody's chemical
Hmm.
makeup different, right? Everybody's liver metabolizes chemicals differently. I mean, I had a lady, she was probably like 5'2", 120, and she was taking like
Hmm.
80 milligrams a day of cannabis and felt nothing, right?
Hmm.
I got some people that, but it's rare though. I mean, I have about 400 patients, and
Probably right.
I probably had like 5 people have issues. One
Hmm.
person got really anxious because people do get anxiety, whether it's sativa or whatever. No matter what they
Hmm.
take, they just can't handle it. It's too much for them, right? So you still gotta be.
Right.
It still will change the chemical process in your body. So you just don't
Hmm.
do it willy nilly. But that's why you do it medically, though. You do it medically, you do it safe, right? I mean, you're not just going out, you're not
Right.
smoking it, you're measuring it. Like you can't measure how much you smoke. If you inhale, I don't know how much you
Okay.
rolled up, how much you took in. I have no idea. If you have a gummy, if you cut your gummy,
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't tell you where the medicine lies in the gummy, so exactly half and half, but you can definitely measure a tincture though, right? And so for
Okay.
me, that's why I like tinctures because you can start out easier with those people because they know how much they're taking. And
Yeah.
but I haven't any, but what I haven't seen people always talk about
Man,
is like
them gummies are dangerous.
they
Them gummies
are
are dangerous. I
because
was
you
like,
never know.
oh
Okay.
man.
Oh,
One time I was like, I don't
tell
feel it
me,
yet. I don't feel it yet, bro. My girl was looking at me just on the couch, like I don't want to talk to anyone. Like, oh man, hey, them gummies are dangerous. You're right. You can't
right.
measure it. That's
But,
hilarious.
but then I have some patients who prefer gummies because they get sick from the
Hmm.
tincture. Because in Texas, here's our problem too. We only have 1% by volume
Right.
cannabis.
Right.
How low is that? 1%? What are y'all in Vegas? You'll get like you see stuff it's like 40, 50
Whatever.
now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So you're
Yeah.
buying so get it. So think about it this way. If I'm in Texas, 30 milligrams of tincture, right?
Hmm.
And my bottle's only 1%, how much oil am I ingesting to get there? A
Right.
lot. So a lot of my
Right.
patients get sick. And then the problem too is that everybody can't take stuff by mouth. If you got throat cancer or stomach cancer,
Huh.
then how are you going to
Yeah.
swallow the liquid or the pill? Some people like the gummies better because they feel the gummies just taste better. They do well
Hmm.
for them. So with my patients, I kind of like that's the fun part of this. I get to kind of play with what does what and how but all my patients are doing very well. They're all functional. They all work. I
Hmm.
got kids who are 16 with seizures. I got 95-year-old ladies in nursing homes who feel amazing with arthritis, right? I got people who are
Hmm.
doctors, lawyers. I got people who work every day who have functional lives, but use this medicine to feel better.
Yeah, yeah, that's interesting. The percentage that Texas has compared to, everywhere else that's fully legal. There's a huge difference there. Because I
Mhm.
remember before, I left, I was over here at some cannabis events, right? And the big thing at the time, I don't know if it still is. I haven't been to a Texas cannabis event in a while. Shout out the one that I saw you
Yeah.
participate in with Dalton, the Texas Cannabis Roundup. I heard that was a
Shout out
good
to
time.
Dalton. Shout out to
Yeah,
Dalton, man.
yeah. Big shout out to Dalton, everything that he's doing. But the Texas cannabis events, and I want your opinion on this because at the time when I was in Texas, everyone was like, okay, well the percentages are low, so let's everyone buy Delta 9, right?
Right.
What's the deal with that? What's just your general opinion? What's going on with Delta 9
And
right now?
I mean, so Delta 9, okay, so it's one of those, it's kind of it's a big workaround, right? So Delta 9 is Texas is huge here because you can walk into a head shop and just buy Delta 9, and people
Right.
all these different formulations of THC, THCA, and so forth and so on. My issue with these medicines right now, because our program's so closed, is that sometimes you really don't know what you're getting, right? And we know
Mhm.
also too that it's a chemical process, right? Hemp it's pulled from hemp. It's not coming from the flower. It's chemically processed. So, and you don't a lot of these companies aren't even really testing their products, or people are getting bootleg products, right?
Mhm.
These head shops are
Yeah.
selling stuff that are just made. They have no tests, come from no official place, but they're selling them because there's no regulation. That's the issue now. But it's not regulated. Why? Because it's not a federal medicine right now. So it's willy nilly.
Mhm.
Now, people use these medicines and it works for them. And I'm like, look, if it works for you and you feel good, you got a product that works for you, go ahead. But you got to be careful. You got to know where the medicine comes from. I
Yeah.
prefer you though, but I prefer that we just use the real flower. We already have a plant that's already growing. It's already there. Why do you always have to mess with stuff all the time? You always got to mess with stuff and mess it up.
Right.
You know? Like, and so, I mean, so for me, I feel like if you can get the real flower, you stay with that, because then you know where it's grown, you know where it's come from. You can get like all the information on how it's tested. But this chemical stuff, you have no idea what they're doing with this.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah.
No, I've heard that can be dangerous because of the chemical, situation there. Yeah. So I'm curious of your opinion on this. So when I moved in after college, like 2017, 2018, I moved to California, and at that time, all we had to do is fill out like a prescription online. Really,
Yeah.
like the doctor didn't even
Really?
like really see us. So I got my medical marijuana card, right, and then funny, like months later, it became recreational legal back in the beginning of 2018. But what's the process in Texas like right now for people getting prescribed? Because I remember it was just some funny site like in California, like pay them $20 and like.
I don't play with it, because one thing is that because it's still such a new thing, we don't know it's not really regulated right now that much. I mean, so we have the Texas Compassionate Use Act. So if you go into the Department of Public Safety, they lay all the rules out, but there's not a lot of like regulation on like how to do this right now. We have a website, so there's a registry. So what you got to do is the patient needs to be inputted in this registry. There's a treatment plan you got to write in there, a prescription you got to write in there, and I have to limit the amount of milligrams for the patient. So what I usually do is, because I act like I'm a real doctor with this. So what I do is my first prescription is for 6 months. I want to see how you're doing first, right? Because I got people who have real medical problems, and I'm taking it very seriously. It's not recreational, it's medical. So because of that reason, I keep tabs on my patients. See, I don't just go, here you go, walk off. No. Because I want to say you're doing it in 6 months. I want to see how much you're taking. I want to see how you have any adverse effects. I don't know if you won't call me. So I limit that amount. And then the next prescription I make like for a year. But they don't tell us how much we can give them. They don't say the maximum amount we can give them. But it's not as easy as going and signing the paper and getting a card, because we don't even have cards here. We don't have cards. We have 2 dispensaries. 2. They're in Austin. One's called Good Blends. One's called Texas Original. And they deliver it to you. Or we have like these small little pop-up shops that they keep their medicine in. Because the other problem in Texas is that you cannot drive with cannabis in your vehicle to deliver longer than 24 hours. You know how big Texas is?
Yeah, exactly.
So you come from Austin, and you're going all the way
North Texas.
You're not going to make it. So so it's an access problem too right now. If you're out in rural bum whatever, East Texas, West Texas, how you get your medicine? And because they can't get it to you, and they can't get it to you. So luckily enough, though, they've now allowed the dispensaries to have like they can just hold it there, and they during the week there's certain days where patients come pick up the medication during the week to pick it up.
Interesting. Okay. I didn't know that. Yeah.
Right now we have 2 dispensaries. That's it, just 2.
So so regarding that topic, I know Dalton's advocating for like as much legalization as we can get, right? Everyone
legalize,
everyone in the Texas cannabis scene, love y'all to death. Those events are fun, by the way. Those events are fun.
We had a good time, man. We had a good time.
Where do you see the future of legalization going in Texas?
Man, I mean, I'm reading so much right now about the movement, and I know a lot of people involved right now. I'm hoping that this next
and I saw you post something about what's his name, DeSantis, the other day. Was that on your story?
That was my story, dude. This guy just thinks this guy. I'll say it, he's an idiot. I'll say it. He's an idiot.
Okay.
Idiot. I mean, how many states have done so well with the taxes of cannabis? And this has nothing to do with the black market. The black market is not worse because of medical or recreational. People are going to get what they're going to get regardless. There aren't
Oklahoma immediately. Oklahoma did well immediately.
Right. I mean, there aren't kids. The studies have shown that kids are not smoking more in those states because it was legal either. I mean, because we know, bottom line, dude, we know this, legal or not, people are going to get what they're going to get, right? It's not going to change anything, but it makes it safer though. makes it safer for people because now you know where your stuff's coming from. And it's, and it makes it easier because now you got people that can really educate you and talk about it. It's not all scary. You're not going around
No,
buying illegal
definitely.
drugs, because once that opens up,
Yeah.
right, now the conversation opens up, once
Right.
the conversation opens up, then we get some real knowledge. And once you get some real knowledge, then we can see how we can use this medicine the right way. But when people are all secretive about it and running around here trying to buy off the street, what you gonna do? What you gonna do with that?
Yeah, that makes everything a lot more dangerous. And speaking of
Good.
dangerous, I believe I haven't looked into any studies, but common sense would tell you that alcohol, been legalized for so long, is a
Dude,
lot more dangerous
it is
than
the
cannabis.
dumbest thing. Why
It's a
is it that
lot more dangerous.
I can go get drunk, get in a fight, beat someone up, and it's okay, right?
Crash a car.
Okay, I got a party, right? Everybody's smoking weed. Ain't nothing bad's
Yeah.
gonna happen. You put a bottle of tequila on there, what's gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
Matter of
People
fact,
get in a fight.
the majority of domestic violence incidents happen with alcohol involved.
Right. Right.
Exactly. And so now we're talking about all these issues now with like safety and like, I mean, I can buy a cigar and get lung cancer. I can buy a cigarette and get throat cancer. I can smoke hookah and lose a lung. I can smoke a vape and get cloudy lung, but I can't take a plant that really does not much to me. Like it's not gonna do anything to really damage my body. It's insane. It makes no sense to why we haven't made this legal yet as a federal level. Well, I know why. I know why. It's because they can't control it yet. It's because they haven't figured out how to control it yet. That's why it's not legal yet.
I see.
Like, because we know who wants to control it, right? Pharmaceuticals and biotech, just like everything else. Just like mushroom, it's like every drug that was ever invented, they got to figure out how to make money off of it. Instead of you growing in your backyard, growing in your house, they want to figure out how to make you pay for it.
So yeah, that's going to be pretty interesting to watch over, the next decade. All, my Texas cannabis friends kind of, easing into legalization.
Yep.
Like, especially right now, if they're just to legalize it right now, it would be kind of strange. It'd be like, why you legalize it so fast? What'd you come up with?
No, we can't. We need to expand the medical first. Like, we need to get it opened up more, right? I mean, I believe in rec, the clean way, the good way, but like
that only makes sense.
Even rec has problems. Like in New York, they're still not really the marijuana. It's like old. Some of this people are telling me like they're getting like really old stuff that's not clean. Like it still has to be. Even rec has to be like actual regulation to it, right? Like rec should be too, but with medical, at least we have a better start in developing a system for it, in Texas.
Right, man. So we're running out of time here. I definitely want you back on the show. I have one last question to ask you here because I heard you, talk about this on Doctor. What is his name? Doctor. I forgot his name. The guy that runs the podcast that you and Dalton were on.
Oh, Chang.
Chen? What's the name of his podcast?
He's a lawyer. He's a lawyer. He's a very
he's not a doctor. Okay.
He's the cannabis lawyer. So he works
with lawyer. Okay.
Develop their dispensaries, all like merger and acquisitions, buying like land. So he does all things cannabis and law.
Oh, that's right. I think he said he was in the physician space as well in the past or something. I think he said that. Okay, got him confused. So you talked a little bit about your patients dealing with depression and anxiety, right? So do you know who Andrew Tate is?
Yeah. Oh God, who doesn't?
So very quick here.
He's a douche.
Very very quick here. He has said in the past, I don't have the tweet pulled up here. Maybe I'll put it on the screen. But he said that depression and anxiety isn't real, right? Just what's your opinion on that, man? 60-second answer. Let's go.
Dude, depression, anxiety is a real thing, right? I'm gonna tell you, your body will physiologically respond, right, to the energy you put into it. As a pain doctor who deals with patients every single day, perfect example, nobody in chronic pain is happy every day, all the time, right? If you hurt all the time, would you be happy every day?
Hell no.
Heck no. Let me tell you why mood. And there are actually studies, there are functional MRIs that show that pain is related to emotion. It lights up the same part of your brain when you hurt, the emotion part lights up too. And I would say this, people go have people develop they mood issues for all kinds of different things. It's not just a chemical issue. It's not just a spiritual issue. It's not just a physiological. It's a combination of all those together, right? Depression,
Right.
anxiety does exist. Now, you can define it how you want to define it. You can say you're sad, or you can say, you're hyped up. You can find, but that feeling,
Yeah.
that feeling is real. Now, I can't tell you, I can't define your feeling though, but I can help you. I can talk to you about why maybe you got to that point, right? But so we can. It doesn't. I think the question is, should it be called anxiety or depression? It's such a spectrum, right? It's such a huge spectrum. And so for me, I feel like it's a real thing. How am I? I'm also, but also too, that's a very arrogant thing to say. Because how am I? Because here's the problem with guys like him. Guys like him,
Tell us the problem. We got
guys
1 minute left. We got 1 minute
guys
left.
like him, guys like him are so pompous and arrogant. They think they know everything. If you truly were on this little spiritual journey that you're really on, like you say, you would know that you can't know everything. It's impossible. Why? Because the universe is too big for you to know everything, right? So how am I going to tell you how you
Interesting.
feel? How do I know how you feel?
I think he's pretty humbled now that he's
Oh yeah,
dealing with that
oh yeah,
whole.
oh yeah. Well, he's
He's
romantic.
acting pretty
I'm
humble
about
now.
to get it right now. He was he with sex trafficking women? Like, come on, bro. Of course you're gonna
Doc,
say that because you about to be real depressed in jail, aren't you?
yeah. Dr. Rozier, Rose. I forgot how you said
You
they
know what?
pronounce it,
They call me Dr.
but
Rowe, man. Call me Dr. Rowe. It's way easier.
Doc,
Dr. Rowe.
Dr. Rowe or the Zen Doctor. We have. So I think with Andrew Tate and Joe. No, I'm pretty sure he's a lot more humble with that now, and it's
Yeah.
funny because I'm a marketer, so he was definitely doing all that just viral
Yeah.
stuff for marketing, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
called like visceral stuff, being polarizing,
Yeah.
right?
Just saying stuff
You
that's
meant
controversial. Right.
you mentioned my Instagram and like the AVN and model stuff I have going on.
Yeah.
A huge reason I do that. It's not only fun. Like let's face
Oh,
it,
I
a
bet it is,
huge
sir.
reason.
I bet
A
it
huge
is.
compared to my LinkedIn. A huge reason.
Yeah.
Nah. Compared, there's a business reason.
Oh, is
There's
it?
a there's a business reason. No, but compared to my LinkedIn,
Yeah.
a lot of that stuff is polarizing.
Yeah.
Like god dang, I can't believe it myself. I'm like, dang, I'm gonna seem like a douchebag to some people, but
I know you're not a douchebag.
no. So back to depression and anxiety.
Yeah.
I think mainly he was saying, and here's a good like segue into what people can do and like how they can face depression and anxiety and things like that. I think he was saying for these young men that he's talking to, like, get out and do something. That's why you're
Right.
depressed, right? So
Right.
what would you say? What would be your kind
Yeah,
of
I mean, I think that. So here's the thing, though, too, right? I don't think that. Okay, you got to think of it different ways. When I think pretty deeply when it comes to things like this, right? I don't, I
Mhm.
believe that
Go ahead.
we are spiritual creatures living a physical experience. It's not about doing something like physical, external stuff. It's about like finding that presence inside of you, right? That's what's important.
Mhm.
And so what my thing is that, like, when you're seeking out to get rid of anxiety, depression, you got to look within yourself, right? It's not gonna, because here's the problem with doing things like that are external. That's not gonna make you happy either, right? So what happens is
Mhm.
we bury ourselves, it might be in the gym, it might be with sex,
Mhm.
it might be with art, music. It doesn't matter what it is, because you can do too much of anything, right? My
Mhm.
thing is, like, you gotta work on what gets you close, like gets this part, like closer to like this part. Whatever you
Mhm.
call it, whatever it is, whatever you want, whether you want to meditate, whatever you want to do yoga, whatever you do ayahuasca or mushrooms, to get you to that place to where you feel connected, close to the universe, right? Close to that
Mhm.
peace that's inside of you. It doesn't come from physical things. Yeah, for the short term, you may feel better. If you go to the gym, you have higher endorphins and higher chemicals in your brain to make you feel happy. But what happens when it's over, right? What happens when you're sitting down with yourself and it's quiet? Most people
Right.
can't do that. So my thing is, like, so that's a part of the treatment, right? Because when you're focused on something, that just takes your mind off you.
That makes sense.
It's not about that. You gotta work on yourself. So you gotta be so. But that's why you practice these things. That's why you live your life with intention and you're present all the time. So it's a twofold thing. It's mind, body, and soul. You just can't do one thing. You gotta do it all. You gotta do it all
Right.
because that's how you connect yourself to the universe, whether you call it God or Allah or the center, whatever. But you can't forget that you're a spiritual creature that has a physical presence right now. But at some point, you have to go back up or out or whatever you want to take it, right? And so my thing is that like I really
Yeah.
think that you have to work on the inner part, the inner work to get yourself truly happy. Because there's a reason why people do like ayahuasca and stuff like that. Because what happens is when you do those kind of medicines, it shows you that like you have the happiness already within you and it doesn't come from anything else.
Interesting. Okay.
Happiness doesn't come from stuff or doing things. No, man, it comes from here. And
Yeah.
so doing things is cool. You get distracted, but you still got to sit with yourself though and know yourself. And I think that's more important.
Yeah. And that's definitely hard to
We,
do.
I
Like,
that'll be our next episode.
you
I can go on
just
about this.
need to
I've
meditate.
had a serious
I,
spiritual journey in life. Like, I've worked with
yeah.
shamans and all kinds of like, people who really can show you what else is next outside of just what's here right now. And that's
Dude,
what's
that's interesting. Okay, that'll be on the next episode. And
yeah,
by the way, so the Zen Doctor, I love that name. Where did it come from?
man.
How'd you get that name?
I mean, I tell you, man, like for me, it was about that, like with people with pain need to find peace, dude. And with me, with my patients, that's what I try to do. I try to incorporate everything that involves
If
happiness.
we could get that
Telling
last
them,
part, man, the Zen Doctor.
yeah,
How
man.
did
I
you
mean, for
come up
me,
with that?
my thing is that like as a physician, I see people. The one thing people need, I don't care what their problem is, they need to find peace. You know what I'm saying? And so
Yeah,
when you hurt, you can't find peace. When you're sick, you can't find peace. When you're tired, you can't find peace, right? And so for me, like, how do we do that? And so I to incorporate all things with my patients. I talk about not just how to help your pain, but what are you doing at home? How are you assessing your emotions, your thoughts, right?
right,
Are you doing the things you should do to, walk the life you should be living? Again, I could keep talking about to have a better spiritual existence. That's my thing. So are you meditating? Are you exercising? That's part of it too. Are you putting those foods with the good energy in your body? We know most people aren't doing that,
right,
right? Your foundation, you can do two
yeah,
things. You control two things in your life: what you do with your body and what you put in your mouth. And what you think.
right.
But for my patients, I say, how do you get better? What you do with your body, what you put in your mouth. That's your foundation. That's your foundation. And if that's
Definitely.
if that's wrong, I'll tell a patient, I'm like, look, if you can't do this, you might as well not even be in my office because I can't do this all by myself.
Hmm.
Like my
Right.
injection, my medicine, my injection, my therapy, like this is not like I'm not Jesus. I'm not going to change the world you live in,
Yeah.
your environment. Like you got to put some work into and be accountable for some of the things that are going on with your life. Like people come to doctors and go, fix me.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Fix me, doc. I don't want to do nothing for myself. Just fix me. I don't play that. I don't play that because when you walk out my office, you should have some tools that are given to you to help you get better on your own.
Right. Man,
So yeah.
that's interesting about that. Just fix me because I think just looking at medications too. I think people view medications that way, just
They do.
being outside
That is
looking in.
no, but here's the thing though. But that's Western medicine though, right? Because
Oh, okay.
that's pills. Give me a pill, get better quickly. But even with cannabis, with cannabis, it takes time. With
Hmm.
mushrooms, it takes time, right? My patients don't get better in a week. That neuropathy gets better in 4 to 6 weeks when you're consistent with it, right? And
Hmm.
so those are the things I tell my patients all the time too. Like this is a plant. This is changing your body. It's not going to just automatically change you
Hmm.
overnight. People lack patience in Western medicine. Well, just in general, that's why lots of other
Yeah,
different ancient medicines is different than that because it's more about time and patience,
I
right?
see.
But we want it
Okay.
now. I want surgery now. I want my pill now. I want my shot now. It's not how that's not how the
Right.
universe works. The universe does not
Yeah.
work like that. It comes to you when it's supposed to come to you. So you have patience.
Yeah. That's interesting, man. And then another question I have is just based off what you do for anyone out there that's looking at your industry as a
Mhm.
physician, as a doctor, what are some of the most common misconceptions you see that people get wrong about what it is that you do?
Yeah. I think for me it's hard because I don't even so I'm in pain medicine, but I hate that word because the
Hmm.
connotations that I'm giving out medicine. So
Right, right,
I'm a little bit pain guy to get some pills. And so I say people I'm not
right,
that. I'm an interventionalist. I intervene, but it might not be pills. It could be a number of things, right? I want to help you change your life.
right.
I say people, I want you to get years in your life, but also put life in your years too. Because you gotta have quality of life.
Yeah, I love that.
Gotta be functional, right? You gotta have a good life. Like when you're 60 years old, you want to be able to garden. You want to be able to do simple
Yeah.
stuff like mow your lawn, play with your grandkids. I mean, simple things you take for
Simple
granted.
stuff. I want to be able to play basketball. I
You
want
will be able to, you
to
know
be
what I'm
able to
saying?
run up and down the
Like,
court.
but
Let's go.
that comes with taking care of your wellness in the beginning. Because if you don't take care of
No,
your wellness in
definitely.
the beginning, you have to take care of your illness at the end. It's your choice.
That makes sense, man.
It's your choice. So yeah.
Anything else you want to leave the people with? Any last thoughts?
Yeah, man. I just want to say, I think that right now people are going through a lot of things. This world, this country, this world is crazy right now, right? We got a lot of violence, and a lot of people are upset. The economy and even the weather, people are pissed off at right now, right? But I
Right.
think that people are getting away from nature and natural things. I think that like my hope is that, especially with things like social media and AI, it's
Mhm.
all meant to take us away from like nature and the earth. And I think like my goal
Man, that's
uh,
crazy.
and as I develop this and go forward with cannabis and plant medicine, like I want to push all things earth on people. Like you can't forget this place. You know what I'm saying? It
Right.
it has everything we need already, and there's enough for everybody too. That's the thing too. So I like everybody needs to love each other. You know what I'm saying? Need to hug your neighbor, help each other, and not just in medicine, but in every aspect of people's lives. Not just what I do, but what everybody does. They should treat people like brother and sister. You know what I'm saying? And then I know. Again, we're gonna go deeper into that next one. I got a lot to say about that stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just love
Awesome.
you, man. Let's just give some love, baby. Just give some love. That's all you gotta do.
Love it. Love it. Beautiful, my man.
All
Well,
right, bro.
guys, go ahead and drop him a follow. I'm putting his information below.
Awesome. Please. And
Dr.
I got a lot more stuff
Antonio.
coming
Yep.
soon. I'm working on my Cannabis stuff, so I got a lot more videos coming out. I'm working on my channel and education.
Yeah.
So I'm working with a group now. I'm doing them all now. So follow me. I got a lot to say, a lot to teach, and please comment and chat with me. I love to hear what you got to say.
Love it, man. Thank you.
All right, brother. Peace.